I heard from somebody in Hickory, Pennsylvania, the western part of Pennsylvania, where fracking first came into Pennsylvania, and they just said to us, we hope you're successful. You know, you guys are making some ground, and we hope you're successful, because they've just walked all over us and people are getting sick, and it's the same story: landscape destruction, contaminated water, loss of resources and quality of life, and it'll happen here unless we stop them. So it's deep. You know, the project was really well planned out, and it's sinister. You know, for instance, you know, Theo Coburn mentions the term endocrine disruptors, and those have to do with a lot of the chemicals that they're using. Well, I was lucky enough to speak to her, and she said that she was part of this scientific group that coined that term, endocrine disruptors. And during the Bush and Cheney administration, they actually removed that term from federal scientific papers. So it runs deep, and there's a lot of undoing that has to be done of the regulation and legislation and the exemptions and the subsidies that all make this campaign possible and make pursuing alternative energy sources or sustainable resources almost impossible. There's no equal playing field. Another funny evening I had was at this seminar given by Penn State in Honesdale about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we're just they're going on with their presentation, and one of the terms that this guy from Penn State used was, well, you know, there will be some casualties, there will be some degradation of landscape, there will be some degradation of the wildlife, the generalists will survive, and so somebody said, well, you know, what does that mean, the generalists? What is the generalists? And the generalists is a term for the raccoons, the skunks, the squirrels, and I think deer might be in that, and but the rest of the animals, the wildlife that we see here, you know, like things like eagles maybe, and trout, and other kind of aquatic life, they're going to be the casualties. And this was just a common presentation by Penn State about hydraulic fracturing in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will approve 40,000 wells this year in the Susquehanna River Basin. They're about to approve a dozen water treatment facilities that are supposed to take out these toxic chemicals from the water, so that from the wastewater of the drilling, so they could put it back into the river and let it travel down to Chesapeake Bay. The same thing is going to be the plan. Same thing is the plan here. And we have to mobilize, and we have to get the word out about what Josh is showing us in this film. It has to get spread far and wide, and we have to be very loud about it. So there's a couple of events coming up, starting with September 23rd at the DRBC, and we have to let them know that they can't approve a permit for water withdrawal that has to do with water for drilling that hasn't been approved yet. It's a slippery slope of approving permits for the industry, and we have to stop them before it happens so that we have a chance to stop this and get regulation in place. That's the industry. Even though the cost of gas is at an all-time low, the economy is still pretty sore, and the reports are actually that there's a surplus of gas. They want to get their holes in the ground. So there is the campaign about drilling and getting permit approvals has not slowed down because of the value of the gas. The gas is on the world market for trading anyway. But the point is, these guys want their holes in the ground before any regulation gets put in place. So we have to do what we could do to continue to, first of all, stop them, but put up any kind of roadblock that we can to delay it until the proper studies are done. And proper studies should take a few years to do. Just to figure out what the flow is in the Delaware takes 5 years to do. So, you know, if they do the proper studies, we could get the regulations in place, and I think that should be the goal. I thank Josh from the bottom of my heart for this amazing work. It's just what we need to mobilize our community. Once again, we have to stop them here. This is our frontier. This is our home. And if we want to see it stay this way, we really have to mobilize and do something. It's time when we say we have to act. You know, there's a time where you just can't let the other guy do it. Damascus Citizens is committed to do anything that we could do. We intend to have to take legal action. We intend to go to the Supreme Court. We think that's going to be the only thing to stop them, and we need everybody's help to do it. So thanks very much for coming out, and thanks again, Josh.
Thanks, Joe. In closing, I also want to say, look, this can get very depressing when you look at it, but I actually believe we stand a real chance of winning here. And the other thing about it is it's brought together so many amazing people. So I would encourage you to just hang out, talk to each other. I've never met such incredible people here and across the country. And I can tell you that these guys out in Wyoming and Colorado are really rooting for us because they know that if the East Coast wakes up, in particular this area, which is connected to New York City and Philadelphia, which is very important, then they will see help. They actually said to me, thank God this is coming to Pennsylvania. Somebody will actually listen to us now, right? So if you care about these people, this is a national issue. It's not just about here, but we deserve to protect here and show the rest of the country that it's not the best idea, not the best way to drill. Also, I wanted to mention the FRAC Act, something from Chemicals and Responsibility Act, proposed by Maurice Hinchy, who I think represents this spot in New York, and Diana DeGette out in Colorado, with a mirror bill in the Senate from Chuck Schumer and Bob Casey, who also represents here. Okay, so hopefully Pennsylvania. Sorry, other side of the road. So hopefully you'll keep tabs on the FRAC Act. All this late-breaking news and information can be found at waterunderattack.com and at the DCS website. If I go like this, it stops feeding back. So I guess I'll take one last question, if there is one. Or I can just take them as we walk around. Is there another question about any of this that you've seen tonight?
I got a question.
Sure.
How fast are they moving up towards this way?
Well, basically, they're pretty fast already. They're already here. You just don't see them. What's preventing them from drilling is the fact that right here in the Delaware River Basin, which extends all of Wayne County on the Pennsylvania side, about 5 to 10 miles on the New York side, into Sullivan County and all along the Delaware River, the Delaware River Basin Commission has to approve permits for water withdrawal, and they need huge amounts of water, and for drilling. So they have yet to approve any permits. This meeting on the 23rd of this month is really crucial in saying, please continue to stop them. But there's a lot of pressure on that regulatory commission, Delaware River Basin Commission, to approve the drilling. So on the New York side, there is something called the General Environmental Impact Study that they're doing before they can approve any drilling, and that's, I think, supposed to come out any day now, and then there's a review period where we get to criticize it and talk about it, and then ask them for a better one. So who knows how long that's going to go on. But things are coming rather rapidly. And if the DRBC decides to permit the drilling, they can start anytime. And that's what you've seen in the Susquehanna River Valley, in the Susquehanna River Basin, just to the west of here, this kind of drilling, which is endemic. You can drive there in an hour and a half. Absolutely. This is special because we're really interested people from this area going to the DRBC, and also for me to test out the material and see how it's working. But for sure, as the film progresses, we're going to keep coming out with chapters and then pull together the whole feature. And like I said, that's 6 to 8 weeks away, and then we'll be applying to festivals and trying to get it on TV and doing all the things. But a lot of people watch it on the web every day. About 150 people watch it every day. That's 25,000 people so far. So since it first went up a year ago, get people to the site and get them to watch it online. It's perfectly great to watch it online. So we'll keep rolling them out as fast as we can make them. It's an enormous amount of material, but I hope to show it again publicly.
Does Ira Glass at This American Life know about this yet?
I don't know. Give him a call.
You should.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to say thanks again.